right, welcome back to the Built to Grow podcast. I'm your host, Tim Lyons, in the studio. Scottsdale, AZ, hot as hell outside.
In fact.
Ooh, joined by Randy Ingston. What's up?
How we doing?
Good.
You know, we say that, but we are very fortunate to be this deep in quote unquote summer
June,
here in Arizona,
yeah.
and we're just dabbling at the hundreds,
It's
the
not
3
bad.
digit, not in the grand scheme of things.
Well, we were talking to somebody like, man, yeah, was it yesterday? Well, anyways, over the weekend,
Sunday or so.
We're like, man, this is not bad. We can't be upset with this. 101, not bad.
Yeah, not well. I mean, we did have April. It hit like 110 for a couple days, and it was like miserable, and then right back to 70s. And what the hell?
What was that? A little hot wave.
But normally it'd be like since then. So we are fortunate here, but yeah, it can get hot.
Can't be too upset. This is the life we chose.
Yeah, believe me, it's better than shoveling snow. Been there.
Quick announcement, guys. We have the replays available from the Fit Pro Grow Summit 2023, Scottsdale, Arizona, with speakers like John Farkas and Shauna the Tax Goddess and Mike McAllowitz and Ben Newman and Rick Mayo and
all of them.
It's all on sale right now. winninggym.com/replay, scoop and score, and then you get a nice login. You can watch those videos, and Nick and the team did a great job of getting those slides showing on the screen. So it's like a real presentation.
It's like it's almost like a course to a degree. You know what I mean? You log in, take a bunch of information, apply it, and win.
Yep. Game time. All right. So this episode, guys, I was talking to Zach just before the other show, and he's like, man, have you ever talked about this type of client? And we got to talking about what this quote unquote type of client is, and we're calling it the transactional client because sure enough, I have faced a lot of these folks, and you as a gym owner are probably facing these types of folks too, and you don't know how to deal with them. And you get upset about the way they are, and it's time to change that, and we're going to explain why. So the transactional client is somebody that most often doesn't really care about you and your business.
Sure.
They use you as a service at their convenience. They will come and go as they please. The rules don't necessarily apply to them. They'll turn on and off your membership when it's convenient for them in their life. And they're not so concerned about the fitness side of it as much as the convenience side of it.
Yeah.
And so this type of person will cancel their membership, and you will fight them tooth and nail because you want it more than they do. You want it more, the fitness side of it more than they do. They'll give you an excuse as to why they can't come in and train. They can't, they could solve this problem. For example, they don't have kid care or something, child care. Maybe they're expecting a grandkid or something along the way, and they decide that's the reason they're not going to work out. It's not convenient in their life today, even though they sat in front of you, said they want to lose weight, they're dedicated, they're a 10, they've got all these things, health issues or whatever it is. And as soon as you start to hold them accountable to those things, they become a demon. You become the worst enemy.
Yeah, as you kind of like talked through that, I think all of us are kind of thinking, we've all experienced those types of clients in the gym, but there's a vast line that's different versus the lifestyle client that we talk about all the time, right? The goal or like the ideal client is that lifestyle client who, fitness is a natural part of their routine, despite the physical changes and things like that. Like it's the work. Like they fell in love with the work, and it's part of their daily. Mm-hmm. These clients kind of the transactional client holds fitness and the time spent in the gym much, much lower on that priority list, right? Mm-hmm. And so to your point, when other things come up, little adversities everywhere else, the first and easiest thing to go is the fitness.
Yep.
And so, yeah, we've all seen those clients. And I think that's a big thing is like they hold the fitness aspect in a completely different realm.
It's a nice to have. It's a convenience thing for them. But yes, ideally they're in love with the romantic idea of being in shape, but they're not going to work for it. And if something gets in the way, it's the first thing to go.
Yeah.
Now, the other side of that coin is if you fight these folks and try to explain to them like the fitness is most important in their life, they're going to go further in the other direction. We've had people that were high-fiving and laughing the day before, and then you hold them accountable to something. Now they hate you. They hate you, and it's the weirdest thing. It's very strange. But once we started to realize, like, man, this is like, they don't care about our business. They don't care about us. They care about them. And that's okay. That's just the way they are. If you as a gym owner or a salesperson or a coach allows these people to leave and be very cordial and convenient for them, 9 times out of 10, they come back. And they come back when it's convenient for them. And if they say it's 2 months and you kind of ping them with a, hey, is it a good time? And they're usually like, yeah, thanks. I'm on my way back in right now. I'll come in and sign back up. And we see it happening, but we used to fight these people because we wanted it more than they wanted it. And you can't do it. You just can't. You have to realize what you're facing here and just let them go.
There's 2 things there that I want to highlight. One is you can't change the marketplace, right? So we always talk about it. I mean, if the word tone, right? It's not, when you're in the fitness world, like, tone is kind of a subject you're like, well, you're not growing, you're not losing. Like, what is this thing? But that's what the marketplace knows to be true, right? It's just what their perceived reality is. It's what they're comfortable using. So rather than fight the masses and try to convince everybody walking through your door, meet them halfway, right? Use the terminology that makes sense to them, or at least allows them to have the conversation, and then we can educate in the ways that they need, through it. That's kind of where I see some of this, but it comes down to being able to, you got to take every relationship in your business almost differently.
Yeah.
This is one of the weird spots where it's like you can only systematize so deep where you can't remove that human element. And to hear your client versus to listen to your client and their requests and their needs, I think that's where you kind of have to kind of put them in buckets and compartmentalize. What is this a lifestyle client or is this a transactional client? It sounds like a struggle, but I think there's massive ammunition and ability in that, right? If you this is a skill set. It's increasing the people in your business, whether it be your training staff, your front end team, maybe it's you as the gym owner. Mm-hmm. If your clients are telling you this stuff and you're not receiving it, that's where you need to become, you need to change, not them, right? You need to hear what they're saying a little bit differently so that you can support them the best. And that's really what it comes back to. These people are looking for support differently than your lifestyle clients.
That's it.
And we need to take them where they're at, because if we don't, we're going to lose them entirely. And
you just got to allow them to go.
Yeah.
Don't fight them. Don't try to convince them that fitness is more important than the daycare, trying to find a solution for daycare or somebody else in their family's sick, so therefore they can't work out. It's like, really? If we're being honest, you put it all on the table.
No excuses. I mean,
they can find an hour or 2 hours or 10 hours, honestly, but you can't fight them. You just got to be like, okay, but we'll see when you're done. But and they come back, and that's the thing. If they never came back, I'd be like, we got to fight this a little bit harder and try to convince them. But they do come back. We see it happening over, and I just saw 2 people walk in for old clients. Like, oh, that's
the
right.
other day when we were leaving, the same thing. Somebody's walking back in the door. Yeah.
So if you leave them, it's like the Planet Fitness model. Like Planet Fitness has, I don't know, Rick told me this. It was like 70-80% return customers because they just let them come and go. They're just going to re-sign up. It's $9.
Low friction, right?
Yes.
Doing business is it's really easy doing business with them, and that's what that kind of bucket of clients is looking for. Is just that convenience factor of
you're a service in their life, and there's those other clients like the lifestyle clients who will go out of town for 3 months and they don't ask to freeze their membership or anything. They're just like, oh, it's just
part of the deal.
It's part of the deal.
Yeah.
And so I was thinking about like what other service would these transactional clients shut off and turn on? And I was thinking like the car wash, the truck wash or whatever. I have that unlimited thing. And maybe I go this month, maybe I go every other week, maybe I don't. I'm not turning it on and off, but they would turn it on and off.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
Yeah, there's something else that came up. I'll have to think about that one too. It does remind me of the episode we did a couple weeks ago, of the breakup, because we talked about that in how you end a relationship with a client. In this situation, that transactional client, when they're asking, hey, can you just freeze, can you cancel my membership? Like, right now is not a good time, but in a couple months, I'll be back. They just told you what they want.
Yep.
Right. That is your opportunity right there to make that client happy
You do it.
By doing that. Now, again, it's your responsibility to know that client. Is that client looking for an easy route and they really need a push? Sometimes that's the case, right? Some of our lifestyle clients, it's really what they need, but it's not an easy, decision to make. But
they don't teach this in school.
Oh, hell no. Mm-hmm. And it comes with a ton of reps. When you work with people and you start to personality type, education, things like that, whether it be, there's all sorts of, tons of them out there. But I think that anybody when you work with people, learn that stuff. People give you clues into their operating system, and that's the stuff that gives you feedback on how they want you to interact with them.
Right.
And if you know that stuff, you can win simply by just being an active listener, hearing what they say, receiving it, and then being able to serve that client to what they're telling you they're looking for.
Yep.
It's huge.
And as long as you can't get upset. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Like, that's what Zach was always facing. He would get upset, emotionally upset. Like, why don't they just stay? Like, you can't. You just got to let them go, and they will come back. So take a hard look at those cancellations that you have. Make it easy for them. Make it easy for them to come back. Make it easy for them to cancel. Make it easy for them to do business with you, and they will return. Trust us. That's it for this episode. That's it for this one. Till next show, keep changing lives. I'll see you on the next one. Bye.
All right, and thank you for listening to that episode of the Built to Grow podcast, where we help gym owners win. Now, do you want to connect with me and other gym owners online? All you need to do is join our private Facebook group, Business Talk with Fitness Professionals. Just head on over to Facebook and type in Business Talk with Fitness Professionals, and when you do, we're going to give you our 10 marketing strategies 7-figure gym owners use to win. I look forward to seeing you in the next episode. Until then, keep building something great.